guys, so in today's video I'm going to be doing my normal 31-week update as well as a little sneak peek at the nursery. I mentioned in my last video that I wanted to do the nursery tour, and while it's still definitely not done yet, I figured that I can at least show you a little glimpse so that you have an idea. I know for myself, whenever I watch pregnancy updates, I love to see that kind of stuff like the nursery tour or whatever's in your hospital bag, or I don't know, I just like the details. So I figured I might as well show what we have so far. And I'll go into detail as far as why the nursery is set up how it is and why it's in the specific room that it is. But I'll do that after. So this week, not like it differs from many other weeks, but as far as my symptoms, I'll go in order from the worst symptom to the least of the symptoms. So the worst symptom this week is I'm uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable at this point that I'm definitely not sleeping anymore, which doesn't help. And my lack of sleep is making me miserable. I'm trying to be as positive as I can be throughout my entire pregnancy, but I can definitely see why at this point in pregnancy a lot of women just feel absolutely miserable. The reason that it's so difficult for me to fall asleep right now is mostly just because of how big my belly is. It feels like I have got a 20-pound weight just sitting on my stomach at all times. So it literally feels like my organs are being squished from the inside out. It's very uncomfortable. It almost feels like everything on the inside of me is bruised. And although I'm loving feeling the babies move around and kick, it's starting to get to the point where it's almost like if you have a bruise or like a Charlie horse and you just keep pressing it and it just makes it worse and worse. That's how I'm feeling. The doctors recommend that you sleep on your left side just because the blood flow is better with your heart being on the left side. But I find that I have to flip back and forth from my left to my right side throughout the entire night, which is starting to make my hips go numb as well. One thing that I know would put me at ease and make me feel a lot better is if I had a recliner, but unfortunately we do not. So every night I'm either propping up a lot of pillows or using my husband and just leaning against him. But if I can sleep somewhat sitting up, then I can probably sleep throughout the entire night. Another symptom which I'm experiencing this week is just a lack of motivation. The babies will be here, like I said, in only 29 days, and the nursery is still not finished, and the changing table is halfway set up. While I want to get all of those things done and get all of my ducks in a row, it's almost so overwhelming that I would rather just tuck it away and deal with it later. My husband Steve works a lot, and he will be taking 3 months off when the babies come, a little bit before they come. So we're just trying to hold off until that time because right now it's just very overwhelming for both of us. My mom will also be here for, hopefully it works out that she'll be here for 3 months. But if the babies are in the NICU, that also gives us a little bit of time to prepare before they come home. As much as I'm ready for the babies to be here, I almost feel like that additional 5 weeks that I'm not going to have pregnant is almost being like robbed from me because I have less time to prepare for them. This pregnancy has really just flown by, and I mentioned before that I always measure my time in events. So my last event that I had to get through was Christmas, and now that Christmas is over, I thought I could have this last month to prepare, but I just did not realize how uncomfortable I truly would be. So long story short, I'm really just hoping for my mom and Steve to give me all the motivation that I need to get everything completed. One more symptom that I'm having is a lot of acid reflux. Throughout my entire pregnancy, I've never gotten sick, and I've never really had bad acid reflux. I only used to have like 1 Tums a day, and it was typically after like a large meal or when I would lay down, but now it's pretty much throughout the entire day. And I'm assuming it's just because I have no more room in my stomach. So if I eat or if I lay down, I feel everything in my throat. It's so uncomfortable. And I find myself usually waking up like 2 or 3 times at least in the middle of the night to just put a Tums in my mouth because it eases it so much. So moving away from some of the symptoms that I've been experiencing this last week, I did have my doctor's appointment on Thursday. So now 3 days has passed, and I'm sure that things are a little bit different. But as far as my last appointment, as far as weight gain, I was up to a total of 29 pounds gained. I'm really, really happy about that. I know that a lot of pregnant women they explode for their first pregnancy. And it's not like I'm trying to eat the healthiest foods. I've definitely been trying to bulk up for the babies, and the doctors say that my weight gain is completely normal. I shouldn't expect to gain any more than if it were just a single pregnancy, so I am happy with it. But yeah, I just can't believe I've only gained 29 pounds. I am sure though that throughout the next 4 weeks, I'll have a lot of bloating and swelling, which will probably, I wouldn't be surprised if I end up going all the way up to 40-pound weight gain, which isn't a lot. It's just another 10 pounds in 4 weeks would be a lot. As far as the baby's weight gain, they're now gaining a lot of weight, which makes me so happy. They're gaining about half a pound every week. So, on Thursday, they had gained a total of 12 ounces each. They all gained the same amount. And so all 3 babies are 3 pounds, 8 ounces. So I'm hopeful that at our next appointment, they'll probably be even 4 pounds by then, which makes me so happy. I mentioned before that in order for them to leave the NICU, they have to be over 4 pounds. And then there's a lot of other things that the babies have to be doing as well. But if we can at least make sure that their weights are as healthy as possible, then everything else will kind of fall into place after that. Now, because the babies are so big, that means that that's even more weight in me, hence that's why I'm so uncomfortable. In total, the babies alone, they're up to about 10.5 pounds of just baby. I also, because there are 2 identical twins, they share a placenta, so that's 1 placenta. And then baby A, who is the fraternal triplet, she has 1 placenta. So there are 3 babies, 2 placentas, and then fluid as well. I don't really know how much the fluid weighs, but the doctor did say that per placenta, they probably weigh about 2.5 pounds each. So that's another 5 pounds of weight that I'm carrying all in my belly. So total weight, not including the fluid, I'm up to a total of 15 pounds of weight just in the center of my body. I don't think 15 pounds sounds like a lot if the weight were distributed throughout my body, but it's really not. That's 15 pounds just in my belly area. So with that being said, it definitely feels like a lot of pressure on my hips and back. Now that the babies are so much bigger, I'm definitely feeling them less. I'm feeling them roll and move, but as far as kicking, that's decreasing by far as the weeks go by. Every time I get my ultrasounds, which is once a week now, we know that they're moving as they should, they're practicing their breathing, and they're doing everything like they should. It's really just because they're running out of room. Because the girls are so big at this point, it's difficult during my ultrasound to even tell really who's who. You can tell like who's who as far as like where they are located in my belly, but it's difficult to see, like, to be able to tell like whose arm is that or whose hand or foot. It really just looks like a lot of squished baby going on in my belly. I am very happy with how the babies are progressing. As you can imagine, as of right now, they're right on track for a single pregnancy. And it's normal and expected that with a multiples pregnancy, the babies would probably be a few days behind, but mine are right on track with just 1 baby. So I'm very happy with that, which also means that they're equally sharing. So as of this point, there's not a major concern for baby A because she has her own placenta where she gets all of her nutrients from, but baby B and C, like I've mentioned before, they do share. This time is typically a concern because one baby can stop thriving so much and fall behind, and then it gets dangerous for both if one baby is born with too much blood and one baby is born anemic. So as of right now, I'm very happy that all 3 babies are sharing equally. And because I'm going in so frequently now, if one baby starts to fall behind, at this point, we'll just deliver me. I did have somebody ask in my last video if I was getting an elective C-section. I don't really know. I can't really say if it's elective. If I could deliver my babies naturally, I absolutely would do that, but it's just not safe. The doctors at where the babies will be born at, they do multiples all the time. Naturally, if they're twins, and that's definitely doable. Twins are born vaginally every single day, but for triplets, it's crucial that the babies get out very, very quickly, and they all see doctors and nurses as soon as possible. As soon as the babies are born, they each have their own team of doctors and their own team of nurses. So with that being said, each baby will have 3 doctors and 2 nurses. And then that doesn't even include my doctors and nurses and the anesthesiologist, plus Steve, my husband, and myself. So in total, there's going to be about 20 people in this operating room. The idea of having 20 people in the operating room is giving me a lot of anxiety, and it's really starting to terrify me. I've had very minor surgery before when I was trying to get pregnant. I had a polypectomy on my uterus. That was definitely mild compared to a C-section. So with that being said, I'm sure you can imagine how nervous I am. I know that these doctors, they do C-sections every single day, multiple times a day. One of the doctors that I see in the office, there's 3 doctors, he's done over 1,000 C-sections, so I trust them, but it's definitely a scary thing to be cut open. I also know that I'm anemic, so I have started taking more iron, but it's likely that because of loss of blood, I may need a blood transfusion, and that terrifies me as well. I haven't even looked into really like what is involved with a blood transfusion. It just sounds really scary, so I would prefer not to look into it. So if anyone watching has ever had a C-section, preferably with more than 1 baby because you're open for longer, and you have any tips for me, I would really appreciate them. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's it for the update. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them down below, and I would love to answer them. Now I will go ahead and show you the nursery. Now, just a disclaimer, we have 3 bedrooms in our home. The bedroom that I'm in right now is my bedroom with my husband, Steve. We have a larger guest room with an attached bathroom, and then there's a smaller room which also doubles as like an office. I don't even think that they really consider it a bedroom. But that is where the babies will be. They'll be in the smaller bedroom. The reason that we're choosing that room specifically is because there are a pair of double doors that open up into the room, and we think it's beautiful. And that room is closer to our bedroom. I also don't really feel like the babies need an abundance of playroom in their actual bedroom. I would much rather have them out in the living room and family room area with me and Steve at all times. And the living room and family room will also be where like their pack and play and their bouncers, where all of that will go. Right now it is stored in their nursery. So when I show it to you, you're going to see all of that in the bedroom, but just know that once it's organized, that will all be out of the nursery, and obviously it will be a clean space for my babies. Okay, so we are going over to the other side of the house so I can show you the nursery. Okay, so the room with the double doors here is the nursery. And I'm not going to open up the second door because we have the mattresses in boxes still. I'm just going to give you a quick little tour of it so you have an idea. The walls are pale pink, and then over each crib I plan on putting their initials with flowers in between them. And I'll try to insert a picture here if I can find one similar. And then, like I mentioned, everything is pretty much just stored in here to stay out of the way until the time comes closer. So we have their swing in here, a few bouncers. I've got their mattresses in boxes still so they don't get dusty. This here is a chair, which will be going into my bedroom once the babies come. This is the stroller for the babies, which will be in either the car or the garage, either way. We have a small dresser in here, which most of their clothes will stay in here for now, but a lot of them are also in our room. We have a rock and play, and then that is the twin pack and play, which will end up in the living room. It's very overwhelming in here right now, but hopefully you just get the gist of it, and then hopefully my next video or the video after that will be a proper full nursery tour. Okay, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you guys have any more questions for me, just go ahead and comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!